How do you stay fit without giving up your favorite foods? I'm a big believer in having a balanced life. I don't do anything to the extreme. I don't do these extreme diets. I absolutely say no to Ozempic. I am going to give you the best ways to enjoy your meals and take care of your body, but still stay fit in your 40s. Welcome back to my channel. My name is JoAnna Pallante. I'm a mom and I have a passion for holistic living. I want to share with you a topic that I am extremely passionate about. I've always been into fitness, and when I was younger, I was able to eat a lot more things than I can get away with as a 42-year-old mom. So what is my day-to-day like as far as foods go? I have a very healthy relationship with food. I balance things out. So if I'm going to have a dinner or enjoy a really good meal, I make sure that I do a couple of things ahead of that. So number one is eating healthy and consistently, keeping foods that you like that aren't going to set you off track in your house. In addition to that, the other thing that I do is work out consistently every day. But if you're working out all the time and your food's not right, you're not really going to see progress. So what I want to do is just start with some changes that I've implemented in my day-to-day. And I think that they're really easy to follow. So something that I changed that I think has significant impact, the more and more I read about this, I'm very interested in balancing out my hormones and maintaining all my levels and things like that. So in the morning, my instinct used to be, grab a Starbucks, grab a bagel or a pastry. I love croissants, and I would start my day like that. That might work when you're in your 20s. Something about turning 30 and 40, that metabolic, shift it's crazy. So now what I've been doing is making eggs every morning. I know the price of eggs is a hot button topic, but I think still, if you are making your eggs at home, it's a pretty affordable way to stay on track, get your nutrients in, hit your protein goals. So eggs every morning that I possibly can, I make them at home, I scramble them up, or I have them over easy. It's a pretty quick morning routine thing that I've worked in. I have that balanced maybe with some berries. I did turkey bacon the other day. My daughter loves turkey bacon. Sometimes I'll throw a piece of toast in so that I feel full. I've talked to my gym trainer about this. If you're going to go for the toast or something like that, the best time to do it would be after a workout and earlier in the day. So my morning meal will look something like that. When it comes time for lunch, I try to stay focused on protein again. Sometimes I'll make a protein shake. I like to throw in collagen, some boosters like, flax seeds, chia seeds, things like that. So I throw a banana in. Bananas are good for balancing your blood sugar. So that might be my lunch or just a snack after my breakfast. I will do protein like chicken, salmon. I've been trying to get more fish in my diet because I was deficient in iodine. So sometimes I'll have shrimp. So you want to, work your protein into your lunch. Then after that, keep the snacks in your house healthy. I buy some things, for my daughter, for my husband, and the more that they are in front of my face, the more likely I am to have those foods. And we'll talk about that later in this video, because I am not telling you to deprive yourself by any means. But if you are following this 80-20 rule where most of your meals are healthy and giving you the nutrients you need and keeping you full, then if you indulge a little bit here and there, it's not really going to set you back. So rolling into dinner. Dinner is usually where I struggle the most, because if I'm home and I can control what I eat, I can eat pretty healthy. I like to cook, so I'll make ground beef, ground turkey. I'll share that in some upcoming videos, how I make these simple things at home that don't take a lot of time but make me feel really good. I will do that with spinach, with broccoli. I find, the vegetables that I like that make me happy, and I work them into my routine. I keep them in my fridge so that I can have those on the side. If I do go out to dinner, that's when I'm really, really, really focused on keeping that diet throughout the day super clean, super dialed in, so that when they put the bread basket in front of me, I don't feel so guilty about reaching for it. So these things are going to happen. This is life. I'm all about balance and being able to do those things. But if you implement all of the things I talked about earlier, then you can enjoy those things in moderation and not have the guilt or, the setbacks. Like if you're making all this progress, losing weight, you don't, or, toning or muscle or whatever your goals are, you don't want to go and just feel bad after you have this big meal. Like for me, if I eat late at night or if I eat the wrong foods, I feel bloated and then I don't feel good about myself. I don't sleep as well. I talk about this in a lot of my other videos. I like to wake up early ahead of my daughter. I work out in the gym every morning at 6:30. So if you're eating late at night or drinking, you're going to wake up sluggish the next day. It's going to set you back. So if you dial all those things in, I think it's going to really help you hit those fitness goals. I wanted to just take a break and mention that when I was really struggling, when I gained 50 pounds in pregnancy, I worked really hard to lose that weight, and I created a comprehensive guide on how I went from 170 pounds to 120 pounds in 8 months. That was my goal, and it definitely took a lot of hard work, but I share those tips in my guide that I will link below, and I also do coaching calls. So if you need some extra, guidance in the areas that you're struggling, feel free to book a call with me. I'd love to help you on your journey. Another topic that comes up a lot in my age group and my friend group is Ozempic. I've never done Ozempic. If you need to use it to help you get your diet in order, like my mom recently said to me, she was considering one of these, similar, I think it's Wegovy or one of those alternative products to get yourself on track. Maybe it's a great tool to help you get your diet going, but like anything in life, consistency is key. And if you take these little shortcuts but don't put in the work, I think over time you're going to be unhappy with the results, because the minute that you come off of these things, if you haven't set the structure that I talked about earlier in this video, you're going to be taking a step backwards, right? So what we want to do is, if you're going to use those tools to empower your weight loss, make sure that you are eating healthy, you are hitting your macros. Everyone talks about macros these days. I do not yet have a food scale. It's on my list of things to do. I talked about this with my trainer this week. You can go on Amazon. It's become so easy to figure out a program. I went in ChatGPT the other day and I was amazed. I said, hey, here's my goal. I want to get my body fat down 2% from where it is now. I want to get my visceral fat down 1 level from where it is now. I use a scale that helps me measure these things. I'll link that below as well. I think it's really helpful to keep you on track. So I went in ChatGPT and I said, hey, I'm a 42-year-old female and this is where I'm at now. This is where I want to be. I want to achieve this in 1 month's time. What foods should I be eating every day? And it wasn't really rocket science. It's everything I talked about before, but it just broke it down and it went down to the gram. So it's basically saying, okay, you need to eat this amount of calories in a day. You want to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. That's like rule number 1 for weight loss. And here's the types of foods you should be eating. And it was just like I said, eggs, yogurt, the protein shake, the chicken, the salmon. So you just find those things you like, you get the scale, you measure it by the ounces that they suggest. And if you follow that pretty closely, you will lose weight. There's no need for all these other gimmicks and these promises and these, influencers on Instagram. You can customize this exactly to your own personal needs based on your weight and your goals and what you want to achieve. I'm telling you, just go on ChatGPT. You'll be blown away how easy it is. And then the hard part is just sticking to it, right? So progress over perfection. I've always kind of struggled with being a perfectionist in all aspects of my life. And I think that the pregnancy weight was something that really humbled me, because I thought, I've always just been able to lose weight. I would go to New York, eat a big heavy meal with my family and cheat for 5 days when I was on vacation and come back and lose weight in a short amount of time when I was in a better metabolic place. But the pregnancy weight, it kicked my butt a little bit. It really was something I had to work at and make lifestyle changes. So if you can just do 1% better every day, 1% better in the gym, 1% better with your diet over the long term, you'll see those results, I promise. And that's really all there is to it. There's no secret sauce. It's just being consistent with it and figuring out what works for you. And that's really the recipe for it. I hope you had some good takeaways from this video. I've been putting a lot of effort into sharing how to stay fit in your 40s and beyond. So make sure you click the next video and let me know in the comment section if you have any questions or how I can help.